On this edition of AJ Update, we're talking water planning and getting an update on the water treatment construction project with Frank Blanco of Apache Junction Water District. We are also going to hear from Heather Hodgman at Public Works about reverse trade shows and the city's new online procurement process. We will then dedicate the last part of our show to the Superstition Fire and Medical District as they talk about the new community care program. AJ Update was there for the historic groundbreaking of Apache Junction's first water treatment facility. That was many months ago. Today, we're going to give you an aerial tour of the construction area and visit with AJ Water District Director Frank Blanco, who will fill us in on the project's progress to date.
Yeah, my name is Frank Blanco. I'm the Water District Director out here at Apache Junction Water District. Undertaking a project to build a Central Arizona Project water treatment plant, and that plant will treat some surface water, so water coming from the Colorado River, 300 and some miles from Lake Havasu actually, and it gets pumped into Central Arizona. And we're very fortunate in Apache Junction in that the Central Arizona Project Canal flows through the city. The purpose of the plant is to deliver initially 2 million gallons per day of treated Central Arizona Project water for our customers. And eventually that plant has been master planned to grow modularly to 6 million gallons per day, and then eventually 10 million gallons per day at build out. So initially at 2 MGD, million gallons per day, that's our current demand for our customers. That would be a peak day demand for us. So we're not building something that we can't use, we're building something that we can utilize to serve our customers today. Yes, at build out, we anticipate that this plant might serve as many as 30,000 to 35,000 population, additional people for the Apache Junction, the city of Apache Junction, somewhere in that neighborhood. The project went out to bid last year, and that was the spring of 2015. We awarded a contract to Garney Construction, and we actually broke ground in June of 2015. It's a year-long project. So by 2016, the summer of 2016 or so, we'll be delivering our water to our customers. So the water is taken from the CAP canal at Ironwood and off of the old Ironwood Bridge. The water is then pumped into our treatment facility. Then it is treated for removing any types of contaminants and also any types of solids, organic matter that might be in the water. And at the end of the day, we end up with water that meets safe drinking water standards. And in addition to currently using Central Arizona Project water, the facility was master planned to someday in the future, and that's not in the very near future, but someday in the future, to also connect to the wastewater treatment facility. And at some point, the wastewater treatment facility would be advanced treatment, having advanced treatment on site and enabling us to blend some of their highly treated water with some of the canal water, the CAP water, and then run that to our treatment facility. Again, that would be in the future. Currently, the state law does not even allow that, but we're making plans already to accommodate that at some future date.
Recently, AJ Update caught up with Heather Hodgman, management analyst with the city's Public Works Department at a reverse trade show in Mesa. Ms. Hodgman explains what a reverse trade show is and why the city was there.
We are here to get vendors, mom and pop shops, and small businesses to register for the city of Apache Junction in order to do business. The reverse trade show works is all cities, local agencies, chambers, they come out here and they sit and talk to all vendors, and they let them know how they can register online to receive bid documents, any information that they want to promote for their services that they provide, and then we give them information about how things work with the city and how to procure.
Ms. Hodgman also used the reverse trade show as an opportunity to introduce to the vendor community the city's new online purchasing process.
Yes, we just did an online purchasing website for the city, and that website entails information on how to actually register, become a vendor, as well as any of our current solicitations that we'll put out to bid, and information about what purchasing is. Today I'm hoping to talk with a lot of the vendors and get them on with our online vendor registration to promote that, to get that running so that all of our city departments can utilize that vendor registration.
Through a partnership with Public Purchase, the city's procurement process is now mostly online and available 24/7. This means it's easier than ever to register as a vendor with the city. You can visit ajcity.net/purchasing right now to see current bid opportunities and register. An added bonus to registering with Public Purchase is you will have the option to view bid opportunities from other government organizations of your choice or area of expertise, such as construction, IT, or HVAC systems.
A good percentage of people don't have to go to the ER at all. They're assessed, they're given resources, a safety plan's put in place, and they stay home, which is it's a win-win for every part of the system.
Hi, my name is Doug Taylor. I'm a captain with the Superstition Fire and Medical District. And this is Donnie Duneau. He's a nurse practitioner working through Mountain Vista Hospital. And we are part of a new and innovative program that we're super excited to be a part of, and we've been asked to talk to you a little bit about it today. The program itself is called the Community Care Unit, and what it essentially does is it partners up someone like me from the fire district who is a captain paramedic, as well as someone like Donnie who is an advanced practice provider. And it enables us to come out to your home or place of business or work and provide you with the low acuity medical care that you may need. And what we mean by low acuity is not your chest pains, your difficulty breathings, your major traumas. It's more like cough due to cold, certain abdominal pains, nosebleeds.
Back pain, joint pain, things like pneumonia, bronchitis, sore throats, ear infections, eye infections, urinary tract infections, diarrhea, common complaints like that.
This is an extremely valuable program, and that we see it do nothing but to grow, not just here in the valley, but nationwide. Do you agree with that?
I agree. You know, it seems nowadays that with the advent of fire prevention in people's homes, smoke detectors, things like that, we're actually having a lot less fires. So it only makes sense that we move more into a medical model. About 80% of 911 calls currently are medical in nature when previously they weren't. And then one thing I really like about the program too is that we're going into people's homes. The past of medicine was that your doctor came to your house, treated you in your home, and followed up with you then. It wasn't hospital-based care, it wasn't office-based care. So one thing that we're doing is we're going into your home where you're most comfortable, and we're treating you there and leaving you in your home.
This is just an awesome, awesome, awesome program. It works. It's going to save people from going to the emergency room and sitting there for hours and hours and hours. And you get the care in your own home. They'll even do stitches. I mean, it's a wonderful thing.
So we've already identified with a few different benefits that the community gets from something like the CCU, those being able to treat patients right in the confines of their own home where they're most comfortable. But there are some other values there that I think we need to touch on. First and foremost, you have the exposure issue that they may come in contact with down at the ER. I know that you have a little bit of experience in the ER. What are some of the things that you can speak towards in terms of exposure to bad bacteria and viruses?
Yeah.
In this?
You know, a lot of times let's say you go to the emergency room because you cut your finger while you were cutting open a lemon. You know, you sit there because it's not a life-threatening emergency, and those complaints get triaged. So the dead or dying get seen first, and then the other ones kind of get brushed back until they can get dealt with. But you go into the hospital with a simple cut on your finger, and you leave with, you know, the flu that you've been sitting next to for the past couple hours as they've been, you know, coughing and exposing you to different germs.
And it was great to have somebody come into her home where she was comfortable. We didn't have to take her into a hospital setting where the risk of her catching something, on top of getting, you know, stitches, but also maybe catching an illness while she's there, was a huge relief. I was just so shocked that the day.
One of the other benefits that the community receives is the time. And again, you know, we just discussed the fact that if it's a low acuity, which is what we're talking about and what we can affect, that chances are they're going to be placed in the waiting room after an initial triage, and potentially we're saving 6, 8 or more hours to some people's visits to the ER,
Right.
And we're cutting those down to 45 minutes to an hour, and that's a tremendous benefit to a lot of people. Something that we really haven't touched on that I think is equally as important is the fact that we can bridge a gap in these low acuity calls. Let's say it was a Friday evening, as fate would have it, that happens so often where we'll run across a patient that comes up with some sort of flu-like symptoms or a cough due to cold or just some sort of complication to an ongoing chronic kind of an issue. This bridges the gap for that, at least that weekend and maybe a few days into the week until they can get to their specialist or primary care.
Yep.
And again, you can probably speak to that and the importance to that a little bit more.
You know, we certainly don't want to be a replacement for people's primary care doctors. We're just a supplement to the medical system, just like urgent care or the emergency rooms might be. So in that sense, you know, like Doug said, a lot of times it's inopportune that you happen to get sick Saturday morning when your doctor's not seeing patients. The only other choice would be to go to the emergency room. So we're basically affording the community just one more option in their healthcare availabilities.
I know that, again, from a personal standpoint, I'm very excited to be a part of this innovative new approach. I think it's been a long time coming. In the event that someone feels like they need our services, I think it's important to explain and to share that nothing has changed from the consumer's end. You still dial 911 as you feel needed. And then there's a series and a process that takes place to determine whether or not this unit would be appropriate for your particular ailments. So it's important to give the appropriate information when you dial 911 and you're talking to the triage nurse, and let the system take place as it normally would. So nothing has changed from the consumer end. Don't call and ask specifically for the community care unit. Let things play out the way that they need to play out, and you'll get the appropriate care.
We don't want to take the place of a primary care. We're simply a supplement, which means we don't do refills on a regular basis. We can do emergency refills, but that's about the extent of our refill abilities.
Well, Donnie, I want to thank you for sitting down with us. I think that this is an important message to get out to the community. This is a 3-year pilot program. It's being funded by the federal government in the hopes that we can reduce the overall cost of Medicaid and Medicare, as well as some private insurance companies. Everybody involved benefits from the program, and we just have to fine-tune it and make sure that we work all the bugs out in the next 2.5 years or so.
It's so much more comforting to be at home and have these special people walk in the door and take care of you. It's just amazing. It really is. So I think you're doing a wonderful job. I love each and every one of you.
So I want to thank everybody for letting us come into your home and explain the program. If there's any questions, feel free to go into our website at sfmd.az.gov.
And you can also like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.